There is your money. Open the gate.
This is 12 copper, a bent nail, and what appears to be a suspiciously angry beetle.
The beetle is part of the deal.
No, it is not.
You refuse us entry. Do you have any idea who I am?
Yes, a problem by the look of it. Now get lost.
My good man, perhaps reason may succeed where finance and whatever this is has failed.
Well now, I was all set to continue me inspection. Ask a few more difficult questions. Maybe uphold the law and all that. But I must say, your boots are looking exceptionally fine today, sir. Real persuasive craftsmanship, those. So, I reckon there's no need for me to continue my point, is there?
Indeed. And with sufficient diplomacy, I believe we may yet reach a far better agreement. Relax, guys. I know what I am doing.
I can't believe it, Vademar. You actually did it. We came here thinking the worst that could happen was the guard nicking your fancy shoes. And somehow, you talked him into confiscating all of ours also.
Shall we proceed? I've already graced this world with my presence and endured its quaint charms. Now, if we don't hurry, my delicate feet might end up as rough as these rustic locals, and I simply won't tolerate that.
Well, on the bright side, we are, at the very least, at the place. Admittedly, not in the manner I had calculated, nor with the footwear I had hoped to retain, but still, progress is progress. Let us pivot our scrying orbs to the aesthetic topography and structural schematics of the Stronghold 4 demo, or, as the commoners insist on calling it, graphics and design. I must say, the visual spell-weaving here is quite robust. They have taken the classic, grid-based administrative chaos of the older eras and elevated it with modern cinematic lighting and a much grander scale. It finally looks as epic as the nostalgic texts claim it always was.
It is a triumph of engineering in the service of absolute squalor. The graphical fidelity is undeniably impressive. The volumetric fog rolling over the battlements, the dynamic shadows cast by the trebuchets, the sheer crispness of the textures. It is the most beautifully polished depiction of absolute misery I have ever witnessed. That said, from a design perspective, it is remarkably readable.
Readable? It's a masterpiece of masonry, you pointy-eared snob. The design of the castles is the best part. They didn't try to make it look like some airy-fairy crystal palace. A keep looks like a heavy, immovable slab of rock. The walls look thick. The siege engines look like they weigh a ton. When you look at your settlement, you instantly understand the economy and the defenses. That's brilliant visual design.
Hey, if you like that Stronghold thingy, you'll spot the same fancy buildings, grumpy units, and those castle walls. Like they just copied them. Goblin eyes see all. Clever, sneaky stuff.
Ah yes, it's like I've been magically whisked back to my younger days at the Magic College, playing Stronghold instead of conjuring spells. Such simpler times, when my biggest worry was a siege, not a missing wand.
What about negative stuff, yes?
From the grumpy dwarf's point of view, this here UI needs a good kick in the beard. It's a little bit clunky, confusing, and windows keep piling on top of each other like a drunken brawl. Hope they fix it proper like in the full release, or I'll be smashing my axe on me keyboard.
One more thing from me. Some of them animations look all glitchy, especially when farmers do their dirt work or when units bash stuff. But meh, probably fix it for the big release. Overall, not too shabby for goblin eyes.
From a magical vantage, we all agree. The game looks truly splendid, like a masterpiece woven by the finest enchantments. But now, the burning question remains: what sorcery awaits us in the gameplay?
Well, what can I say about the gameplay? Loads, actually. It sticks to the good old classic Stronghold ways. If you've played the old game, this'll be as easy as cracking a barrel of ale. For the rest, here's the gist. You lure in settlers, put them to work, collect taxes, build your castle, which is the funniest part if you ask me, and then try to survive the enemy who's doing the same blasted thing. Simple, but solid as a mountain.
Must say, some changes are quite novel. Like this honor system, which, if my impeccable memory serves, was in Stronghold too. Though, of course, my memory is far superior to most. Imagine my surprise to find it gracing the Stronghold remake. Truly, even I can be impressed.
Talking about buildings, it's the same old classic Stronghold. Some crank out food, some gather resources, and others process them. Plus there's this reputation stuff to boost your honor. The unit roster hasn't changed much either, so the big fans will be right pleased. Big props to Firefly Studios. I'm mighty impressed with what I'm seeing.
And naturally, the grandest feature of the Stronghold series endures. The castle building system remains just as I recall, bringing forth that warm, nostalgic magic, mistakes and all. For instance, we erect a towering wall to trap our foes, only to realize the archers lack the proper angle to rain arrows upon them. Not our wisest moment, but it splendidly reveals the flexibility one has in crafting their fortress walls. Verily, it is difficult to speak of negatives, for this is but a demo, and the date of its grand release remains unspoken. As of now, naught has caught mine eye in fault, yet the chief cause is that within this demo, only 2 missions lie, quite limited in scope. Thus, I reckon we must now turn our gaze to the verdict of this humble demo.
I reckon we can finally hammer out a proper conclusion on the demo. We've not got the full campaign yet, and there's still plenty that'll likely be changed, patched, and polished before the final release rolls out. But even with that in mind, from where I'm standing, this game gets a big stamp of approval. What matters most is that it kept the true Stronghold spirit alive. You can feel it in the castle building, the management, the atmosphere. All the proper bones are there.
Aye, I agree entirely. And that's the best part of it. It doesn't just drag the old Stronghold corpse back onto the field and hope nostalgia does the heavy lifting. They've actually improved a fair few things along the way. It doesn't feel like a pure copy of the old games. You can tell they've brought in some good ideas from the later titles too, and used them to strengthen the whole thing rather than muddy it up.
Well, from the negative side, there are a few animation glitches here and there. Nothing too catastrophic, more the sort of thing that makes you blink and go. So yeah, let's hope all those little wobbles and weird moments get patched up in the final release.
It would be almost criminal not to mention just how beautifully the game presents itself. It is genuinely very pleasant to behold. The sort of medieval spectacle that almost makes one forget the constant poverty, smoke, and deeply questionable hygiene. In the sum, I really recommend this game, and we will wait for full release to return back and provide you more detailed review. Thank you for your time, and we will see each other soon.